Hi, I'm Todd Jones, host of the podcast Press Box Access. Here's a clip from my interview with Tim Smith. Tim recalls what it was like as a sports writer to go from the Midwest to the media capital of the world, New York City.
So we met in those days in the late 80s and the 70s, the late 80s, and then you went on to New York, where really you spent the bulk of your career at the New York Times and the New York Daily News. And as we unfold this show, I wanted to just ask you in general, when you think back of your career, almost a quarter century in New York, what was it like to be a sports writer in New York City, the media capital of the world?
Well, when I left Cincinnati to come to New York, this is what I always thought, that New York was just, particularly with sports, that it was just this cutthroat, incredible, I'm gonna sink. I thought, I had so much trepidation and fear coming into that setting. And then, I went to cover the New York Jets. And I had been covering the Cincinnati Bengals, and I had been working, my competition at the Cincinnati Post was the great Jack Brennan.
Right.
And so Jack and I don't know if you remember the old Wile E. Coyote cartoon, but there was the thing about the sheepdog would clock in every day, and Wile E. Coyote would clock in every day, and they would spend the whole day like trying to beat the hell out of each other.
Oh yeah, right.
So Jack and I would spend the day like just in the corners, like whispering to people, and then without the internet, you would have to wait until the next day and pick up the paper to find out what all the whispering was about, right? But
right.
We clocked in every day. We did our own thing, and he beat me, I beat him, the same, just hand-to-hand combat every day. And I thought, this is going to be useful when I get to New York, because now I'm competing not only with one person, I'm competing with all these other newspapers and all this kind of stuff. So, I was a little nervous coming to New York and coming to that setting. But when I got to the Jets, I found the environment was completely different, that there was almost like I don't know, there was like this, all the guys worked together, and I'm like, what are you doing? They'd be like, hey, who talked to Eric McMillan? Somebody have any Eric McMillan quotes? I'll trade you Eric McMillan quotes for, Ken O'Brien quotes, because I didn't talk to Ken O'Brien today. And I'm sitting in the room, and I'm going like, there are like 9 reporters in there, and they're swapping quotes between each other.
Yeah, what is this, right?
Yeah, I'm like, what is
this?
This
is the cutthroat New York media, really?
Yeah, this is the cutthroat New York media. But somebody explained to me, like, they got sort of tired of like their bosses, yelling at them every morning going, hey, why didn't you have this? Or you weren't working hard enough. So they decided to just like, on some of the stories to just like, share information. And I was like, I ain't sharing nothing, man,